Hello YouTube, thanks a lot for joining in today's video. In this video, I'll be going over the three major components of functions. So basically the first one is we declare a function. The second one is where we actually create the function or define the function, where we build the body. And lastly, we call the function or we actually use it. So here I've built up three templates. So the first function is a function that will triple the value of a number. I've made them very basic so they're easy to understand. So this will essentially triple the value of a number, or to be specific, of a double value. So what this function does is it takes a double value and then it returns us a double value. So we can quickly write this out. We've already declared it and now we can just quickly define it. So the variable we give it is a, and we can just go a is equal to a multiplied by 3, simple enough. But this function also requires us to return a value, return a type of double value. So we quickly just go return a. Since a is a type of a double, this function is good to go and it should work. And now what we can do here is we can create a new variable. Let's call it double number 3, for example. And we can actually store the value of this function here. So this is how we call the function. We write triple, and then in the brackets we can either give it a variable, which is a type of a double, or we can just type in a number itself. So let's say 4.3. So what this will do is the value 4.3 will go in right here. We'll take the value of a in this case and we'll triple itself and then get returned. And as it gets returned, it will be stored in number 3, the new double variable we've created. And then we, for the sake of testing it, we can quickly just print number 3 just so we know the function is doing what it's supposed to. Now similar idea here. We have a void function here. This function will also serve the exact same purpose, but the difference in this function is that it does not take a value, and other than that, it's a void function, so it does not return anything. So when we're dealing with void functions, we actually have to create a global variable. A global variable is something that is outside the int main. So here we can create something like double void number, something like that. And then we can also give it a value of, let's say, 4.3 as well, just so we know we're getting the same answer and we know the function's working. So to keep things simple, we can just go and we'll go right here and just print our void number, so we're able to test this. And now what we'll do is we'll quickly just run our triple void function, or actually write this out. So similar idea, I'll just copy this. So void number is equal to void number multiplied by 3. So you might be wondering, how does this function work if it doesn't return anything? Well, that's interesting, because all this function does is, if we copy triple void, we put it here. So right now, up till here, the value of void number is 4.3. But then this function goes through, and then the value of void number will be tripled, as you guys can see right here. And then we can just print void number, so we'll be able to see what kind of change do we get. So this is the original void number, and then it should get tripled and get printed again. So that's what our void function will do. And thirdly, I've another practice function we can work with. This function will take the value of 2 integers and kind of return the higher number integer to us. So for the syntax for this is relatively simple. We'll just go if a is greater than b, just simply return a. On the other hand, if that's not true, just simply return b. So again, similar idea, guys. We're just going with the max function, and again, just so you guys know, this will return a type of an integer. So as you guys can see, we're either returning an a or returning a b, so this function is also good to go. So now what we can do is, since this is returning an integer, we can store this value in an integer, or we can directly print the value. So I'm going max, I'm going 4, comma 3. So now I'm giving it two integers, I'm giving the max function two integers to work with. It will run both the integers and then we'll get an answer. So now let's simply run our program and see if it does what it's supposed to. And as we guys can see right here, this is the first statement that got printed. This is from our first function 12.9. This is the original void number 4.3. This is the tripled value of 4.3 again from the void function. And sorry, I shouldn't have written void here. I did not mean to write that, but anyhow, and the max number between 4 and 3 is just 4. So hopefully this made sense, guys. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.